Welcome to Sky High Coaching Conversations. I'm Janelle Ryan, global personal coach and author of Become Extraordinary, joining you from the coastline of Australia. This podcast is raw and unedited, just like life. I work with high-performing professionals, entrepreneurs, and elite athletes who are ready to expand their minds into new ways of thinking, create what once felt impossible, and lead themselves and others with confidence. If you're a self-led human who loves growth, truth, intuition, and a lot of laughs, you're in the right place. I'm so happy you're here. Let's dive in.
Hello, I'm Janelle Ryan. I'm so happy you're here. Let's dive in. I'm going to start today's episode with a question for you. Have you ever had a season or gone through a time where you're technically functioning, but you feel flat? You're doing the right things, meeting the deadlines, showing up to work, seeing friends, organizing plans, and yet something still feels off? You feel restless or low energy, you have low energy, or you feel a bit flat or a bit, grey, a bit blur. And then that thought turns up quietly at the worst possible moment. Is this all there is? Now, if you've been there, I want to start with something really important. There's nothing wrong with you. What you're describing is not a personality flaw. It's not you being ungrateful. It's not you failing at positivity. In my world, those are symptoms, not the cause. Because the way most of us respond to that restless, flat feeling is to treat it like a motivation problem. We try to pump ourselves up. We plan a holiday, we set a goal, we buy a notebook, we book a dinner. We decide we need a fresh start, and that fresh start will start on Monday. And sometimes that works for about 10 minutes. But then the feeling comes back. And the reason it comes back is because it was never asking for more energy. It was asking for something else. From what I've seen and heard and experienced, when women lose their mojo, it's often because they have disconnected from a really important part of themselves. The part that knows undeniably what they want, not what's expected, not what's next on the list, not what's logical, not what you used to want when you were 25 or even 35, not what looks good on paper, what you want now. And here's the part we don't talk about enough. Sometimes we have something we once wanted and we don't want it anymore. That, my friend, can be deeply unsettling because it forces a question we'd often rather avoid. If I don't want this, then what do I want? And this is where soft strength comes in. To me, soft strength is emotional intelligence in practice. It's your ability to feel what's true without armoring up against it, without trying to outrun it, without immediately turning it into action, without overriding it with, well, I just should be grateful for everything I have. Because emotions don't live in your calendar, they live in your body. Your inspiration, your dreams, your desires don't live in your to-do list either. They live in your body. And desire is a quiet thing. It whispers. It does not yell. So if you're moving too fast in environments that are too loud, with too much input and too little space, you're not going to be able to hear that whisper. And when you can't hear it, you default to chasing what you think you're meant to chase. The expected life, the sensible plan, the next rung, the next milestone. And then you get there, and lo and behold, you still feel flat. Not because you're broken, because you've been chasing things that no longer fit. And this is why so many high achievers look successful and secretly feel unsatisfied. It's why so many women can build a life that appears impressive on the outside while feeling strangely disconnected on the inside. Achievement solves problems. It solves comfort problems. It does not solve meaning problems. Meaning comes from alignment, and alignment starts with desire. Desire, not desire as in I want a new handbag or a new pair of shoes or that beautiful luxurious chocolate. Desire as in the deeper signal inside you that says, this matters, this doesn't, this is alive, this is dead, this is mine, this is not. And I think this lands so powerfully because so many women have been conditioned to live from the neck up, to be nice, to be agreeable, to be low maintenance, to rationalize, to dismiss what they feel. So we become really good at being competent and very disconnected from being true. But your emotions aren't inconveniences. They're information, and this is such good news. Restlessness is not always random agitation. Sometimes it's your system saying, we're ready. Sometimes it's your heart saying, not this. Sometimes it's your inner knowing tapping you on the shoulder saying, there's more. And this is why I don't love the idea of simply trying to get your mojo back so you can push harder, do more, and tackle anything. Because what if what you're tackling is not actually what you want? What if you don't need more motivation? What if you need more honesty? To me, that is the better question. Not how do I get my mojo back, but how do I get quiet enough to hear what I actually want? So grab your notebook, your notepad, or open your notes on your phone. If you want to note down 3 gentle questions you can sit with when you feel that flat, restless, is this all there is energy? First, what am I currently pushing through that my body is quietly resisting? What am I currently pushing through that my body is quietly resisting? 2, where do I feel most alive? Not most productive, not most impressive, most alive. Where do I feel most alive? And 3rd, if I stopped trying to be logical just for a moment, what is a small truth I already know? If I stopped trying to be logical for a moment, what is the small truth I already know? And if you want a simple practice, I invite you to dive into this, and it only takes 2 minutes. Place one hand on your chest or your belly, if that feels better for you. Slow your exhale down and ask yourself, what do I want more of really? Or what do I want in my life really? Then don't force the answer. Let it arrive. And here's the thing, it might come as a word, a memory, an image, a nudge. This is how desire often speaks, softly. And if you can build the capacity to listen to that voice, you don't just get your mojo back. You get your direction back. You get your self-trust back. You get your influence back. Because when you know what you want, you stop being blown around by expectation. You start being pushed in directions that you don't really want to go in, directions that aren't for you. And you start moving with a steadier, quieter kind of power. Now, if this is resonating and you can feel that you have been moving quickly, overriding yourself, losing touch what's actually true for you, you're in luck, my friend, because this is exactly why I created Softly Unshakable. Softly Unshakable is a free 90-minute immersion for intelligent, high-performing women who want to understand what happens inside them under pressure, reconnect back to themselves more deeply, and begin building the kind of steady inner power that changes how they speak, lead, choose, and live. Because before you can clearly express what you want, hold your ground, or communicate with real influence, you need to be able to hear yourself. You need that relationship with your own inner truth. And that's where we begin. 90 minutes. It's a gift. It's free. It's my gift to you. It's via Zoom. You can be anywhere in the world. It's the 17th of March, and we're going to put the link for you to register in the show notes. Now, if you want to go further, if you want this work to become more than a beautiful insight or a one-off experience, the Soft Strength Salon is where we go to do the deeper work. The salon is where we practice living this for 6 months, where you learn to stay connected to yourself in real time, where you deepen your self-awareness, strengthen your emotional intelligence, understand your patterns, access your truth more quickly, and build a steadier, more grounded relationship with your own desires, decisions, voice, and next chapter. Because this is not really about getting a quick burst of mojo and hoping it'll last. It's about rebuilding your relationship with yourself, and from that place, everything changes. We will also put that link in the show notes. The Soft Strength Salon is open right now. No delay, no waiting. We start the moment you say yes. Thank you so much for listening. I'm so glad you're here. And if this episode spoke to something in you, take a moment with it. Don't rush off. Let yourself sit with the question, what do I want now? Thank you for being here. I look forward to reconnecting with you on the airwaves next week. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you for being here for another Sky High coaching conversation. If today expanded something in you, trust it and allow it to lead you to your next step. Take what landed, leave what didn't, and keep creating the life and vocation that feels unmistakably yours. Until next time, keep expanding, keep creating, and keep leading with clarity, courage, and a little magic.